India-Canada diplomatic standoff has only escalated after India raised the pitch against Canada by suspending visas for Canadians in a fitting response. Canada Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, in fact, on his part, doubled down on the allegations against India over the K-terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar's killing. Trudeau saying that there is credible reason to believe agencies of Government of India were involved in Nijjar's killing. He further added that the allegations have been levelled against India with utmost seriousness and that Canada expects India to cooperate. Meanwhile, sources suggest that Khalistanis in Canada will be holding a protest on Monday, and ISI is working to make this a success. Remember, just yesterday, the Ministry of External Affairs accused Canada of becoming a safe haven for terrorists and extremists. The breakdown in India-Canada ties is now clearly visible.
There are credible reasons to believe that agents of the Government of India were involved in the killing of a Canadian on Canadian soil. That is something of the utmost and foundational importance in a country of rule of law, in a world where international rules-based order matters. We call upon the Government of India to take seriously this matter and to work with us to shed full transparency and ensure accountability and justice in this matter. We are a country of the rule of law. We are going to continue to do the work necessary to keep Canadians safe and to uphold our values and the international rules-based order. That's our focus right now. And we're not looking to provoke or cause problems. But we are unequivocal around the importance of the rule of law and unequivocal about the importance of protecting Canadians and standing up for our values.
Instead of making it about Chinese foreign interference, he made it about his personal fight with India. But again, this is blown up in his face because it's not like the Indian government was just going to sit there and do nothing. They actually pushed back against Trudeau, and now he's dealing with the consequences. And this is a story that's going to upset a lot of Canadians. A lot of Canadians are going to be very upset about what has happened.
Now, amid this ongoing tensions between Canada and India, United States has made it quite clear that they are in touch with Indians at the highest level, further adding that diplomatic standoff between the two nations is a matter of huge concern, and that the two nations are looking at it and looking into it seriously.
I'm not going to get into private diplomatic conversations that have either already happened or are going to happen on this topic, only to say that we have been and will be in contact with the Indians at high levels on this issue. It is a matter of concern for us. It is something we take seriously. It is something we will keep working on. And we will do that regardless of the country.
Right. Gaurav Sawant, who still joins us for more on that. Gaurav, let's be objectively looking here, where we know that a huge number of Indians who are currently residing in Canada, working there, families, Indian families who are really worried for their beloveds. So at a time like this, when relationship between the two nations are strained, it's the public at large, people at large who are bearing the brunt of it. We hear the Canadian officials say that they are very much in talks with the Indian government at the highest level. Do we know of anything on those lines from the Indian government? On what kind of talks and how far has that reached?
So let's be objective. Yes, there are Indians who live there. And then there are Khalistanis in Canada who are threatening Hindus and telling them to leave. So let's be objective. It is incumbent on the Canadian government to ensure that the lives of those Hindus who've been living in Canada and contributing to the economy in Canada and contributing to that society in Canada, their lives are protected, and that the Justin Trudeau government is not held hostage by a handful of Khalistani terrorists and extremists. Yes, Government of India is engaged with the Government of Canada at the highest level to ensure the safety of Indian citizens and people of Indian origin, and to ensure law and order is maintained in Canada. So yes, the two sides are engaged. Then again, the fact remains that Canada hasn't shared an iota of evidence with India. So when we remain objective, we do keep in mind that Canada is talking about credible allegations and credible reason to believe that agents of India were involved. None of this adds up to evidence that can be actioned in a court of law, and Canada has outed an Indian official, giving out his name in public domain, actually putting a target on his back like the terrorists have done to several Indian diplomats in Canada, which is just not done because their lives are at stake. So, you know, when we are objective, we realize, Nabila, that Canada really needs to come clean on its actions.
Well, let's hope what you say is also a pacifier to all those Indian families who are currently hoping that their folks are safe. Thank you very much, Gaurav, for joining us on that.